Hello.
Hello. Permanent markers.
A what? A
El
permanent
Cheapo.
markers?
Yep.
I think it's going to be on 6 or 7. 6 or 7. I'm not sure.
Perfect. Thank you. All right.
It would.
My pile shakes as I hit 80 down the open road. This is the open road.
Oh.
Alright, I might have listened to a little bit of Eve 6 recently. They may not be my favorite band, but they're one of them. They came out in the 90s. And, oh, they're one of the few bands from the 90s I actually do like. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of great musicians who came out and about. Of course, a lot of them ended up being sellouts. Alright, so my whole goal for today, try to make enough money to pay off my fine tomorrow. Hopefully earn enough to hire somebody to help me move my stuff in the mountains. It never should have been up there to begin with, but given the information I had at the time and the empty promises I was given, that seemed like a good option. The help that I had, some of them, they definitely went above and beyond, and that's kind of the problem. The one guy who wanted to move everything back to where his camp was, God, that's a lot further back than I would have tried. Just as a matter of mobility, just for going in and out of there. Not even counting having to carry something in and out. That's one of the things that people didn't recognize after I hurt my back, is I just can't do all the things I used to be able to do. I was that guy who would make time immediately. If I had to go to work, as soon as I got off work, I'd come over and help. But I didn't really have any. Someone calling himself NKK Epo at Man, what's the point of your stream? Well, most of it is what my life's become because of how horrible it really is in this country. Right now, it's just something simple. I was going to get some sharpies so I could make a sign and handle for enough to put some gas in my vehicle, run the errands that inevitably I'm going to be told I have to run through in order to get, go ahead, and in order to get any sort of help. Of course, I'm also going to have to go in alone, so I'll be denied but all those services. They'll likely run me around in circles telling me that it's always somebody else's job. And then after they've all committed crimes by just pawning me off on each other, they'll pretend like they were working together with me, and I just didn't want help. And that's the fucked up thing about it, is that the help that I need, their jobs as mandated reporters, they're not doing that goddamn job. They're doing everything but that goddamn job. Police can't just keep sending us on to mental health instead of doing their jobs as fucking cops. Because mental health, what are they going to tell us? It's not their job, it's the police's job. Yeah, duh. I called the police first, you know? Then you got to turn in the police to themselves. And they say, "Oh, you should have called 911 first. You should have called us first." Excuse me, I did. The point of this channel is to get justice for the victims of this bullshit. To put the actual predators away instead of just the victims. You see what time it is? 11:30. Yeah, that means the church crowd should be finished here. Up with the whole church thing in just a few minutes. We'll end up with a lot more traffic. Maybe somebody would kick down a few dollars. Maybe somebody would kick down a few cents. Maybe somebody would just give me something to eat or something to drink. When you're out here in survival mode, you learn to be thankful for things that most people take for granted every day. God, my foot is getting all torn up. When Natalie Bollinger was killed, it made it so I went from having dozens of predators to having literally hundreds. I was prevented from speaking up or showing evidence through illegal means. And it was primarily law enforcement breaking the laws in those ways. I mean, sure, the public took part in it, but the police had to break the laws and lie to people in order for those things to happen. Kind of like the Bollingers had to break the law and lie to people in order to do the things that they did and get away with them. My so-called friends and family didn't give two shits. They wanted to tell me how to think and feel and promised me that they'd help me and then not follow through. And yes, you need to turn it in with the victim right away. If you can argue with the victim for an hour, literally a whole hour after they've been victimized, you want to argue with them for a whole hour. In that hour, you could have already gotten it turned in, you pieces of shit. And that's the name that I have to give to literally everybody. I wanted to argue instead of help me to turn it in. It's not just Natalie Bollinger. And this human trafficking bullshit here, it's not a joke. It's not a figment of my imagination. San Diego, the city government there admitted to at least 30,000 people being human trafficked through San Diego. That's just what the city government is willing to admit to. How do you put that in perspective? The point of my stream is to get heard, to get a voice for the victims. That includes myself. Make myself a sign. I'm doing my best to show the corruption here in the United States and why it is that American homeless need to be declared refugees and be allowed refugee status. We are the #1 victims for those in our country, regardless of social class. Everyone knows they can get away with harming a homeless person. And a lot of people actually make a living off of that. getting paid hundreds of $1,000s a year from lobbyists to go try to have homeless people locked away so we don't have to see them. They're unsightly, right? Make it so that access to basic resources is damn near impossible. And then you want to throw those resources in our faces. Oh, well, we have a shower in this place once a week. And we allow 8 people to shower every single week. Great, thank you. Thank you for those people. Ooh. So let's make ourselves a sign. It hurts. And this is too fine a tip. Yep. By the time I get this done, the Sunday rush will be over, or somebody else will have taken the spot. And I could sure use some blessings. I don't mean that in the religious sense. A lot of people put crosses and stuff on their signs, just try to get religious people to give a bit more. But I don't know, I find that to be kind of disrespectful. The blessings thing, no, that's not disrespectful. We all need blessings. God, that fucking hurts. It's all wiggly. You guys should see my handwriting now versus when I used to be an artist. Alright. See if we can make this work. This place is crooked as anywhere else in the United States. It's kind of a nasty place now. Nobody else took the corner. Looks like nobody did, so I can take it. Again, that's good. I'm glad I had enough to get a sharpie. And I suppose I was able to get one of the big ones, but like that. We were on sale, so it was a lot cheaper than it would have been. Walking around. battery I got left. Yeah. You what?
Gas.
Mostly gas.
Mostly gas. Cigarette, but no more.
Well, it'd be nice to get one for one of them if you got one. I do smoke cigarettes.
Help you with that. Oops, my flower. These are candles, but they're a little different. They're non-menthol. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, now I gotta get a couple things.
Basket. Thank goodness I make sure I record everywhere I go. And I pay attention to my surroundings to the best of my ability anyway. I'd say I do a better job than most. $11.58. In just a few minutes here, it's gonna get real busy. Most people won't give me anything, but a few of them might. Some of them might even give me more than $1. Danger.
me a cash, but I don't want to wait in line. You want these?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Thank
All
you, ma'am.
yours. No problem.
Rock on. I'll even get to return their cart.
Oh, perfect.
Well, I guess that works. Both machines are busted? Cool.
That's kind of sweet.
I don't have a key yet. I just came on. We have new rules here. We're not allowed to use these kind of birds. That one's labeled. That one's not labeled. That one's not labeled.
I know, I pulled this one out of the
I'm just doing
walk
it. I don't
over
want
there.
to.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, there's no more bottle ones.
Oh, it's like good shit. I didn't know this website.
You're done. Yeah, I'm gonna count my hand count. I'm done.
Well, we could both at the same time, you know?
Alright, so those are the ones we're allowed to use for the cans? Is that right?
Has to have a label on it. Show him the label that says bark bottle.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Right here.
Thank you.
Good morning. How are you?
Stay, good can. Mr. Farms here, so he was walking towards the building as I was walking out, so it's a good thing I got this recording. For my own safety. He's about 30 yards going the other way. Better choice than the last time he made a decision. Better to walk away than to threaten people. And a lot of people have told me, well, you know, he's got mental problems, and yeah, I get that. But I've also gotten to see the extent of his mental problem. I've gotten to see him assault people. I've been assaulted. So I know that, yeah, that's a definite safety issue. There are people want to feel sorry for him. I'm fine with him as long as he's at a distance, as long as he's not in my personal bubble, as long as he's not screaming that he's going to kill people or hitting people or pulling people around or choking people out. This is all stuff he's got a history with. Oh, thanks. Do what?
That bag that he had. The bag that he took out of there. He threw it in that cart. We can use the cart to take him back. And then I have a hand count. He has to count. I'm going to throw him in the cart.
Well, I hope he labels it then. I hope he labels it then. Well, somebody probably needed it to take their stuff back to camp and got too lazy to bring it back.
Thank you.